Jada is keeping it 100 with Suede. Tiff is completely shutting the door on Emmett while he's reconsidering how he handles his sex life. And Tiff's new boo is applying hella pressure. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another The Shy video. In this video, we're going to break down episode number 2 from season 5 of The Shy. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Okay, so much more happened in Tracy's storyline in this episode, so I'm going to kind of start there because we really pick up exactly where episode 1 left off. Douda and Quentin are now in her home because they showed up at her door last episode, and y'all know that this is like Satan and Satan's spawn. Unfortunately, Otis, you have tried to do a few good things, sir, but overall your ass is evil and you're up to no good. Now, it's interesting to me that Douda is like really into Tracy because a lot of like what we have seen from him throughout the seasons, aside from maybe his infatuation with Jake, a lot of it just read as like he's a liar, none of this is real. However, his infatuation, love, interest, whatever the hell this is when it comes to Tracy, it definitely reads as genuine. And it reads as genuine because he also seems to have like a conflict in like doing the evil that he wants to do, but then also still trying to show up and do right by her. And for whatever reason, when he said last episode that he came back for her, I believed him. And honestly, I think that this is going to be a major part of Douda / Otis's conflict this season. He has returned to the Shy after basically running for the last 6 months. In this episode, he does an interview to try to clear the air and tell people where he's at and reposition himself so that he can, you know, walk the streets without hiding or without being confronted with anybody's, you know, opinions, thoughts, or criticism, because he basically walked away from his mayoral seat for 6 months and nobody could find him. But as the charmer he is, as the liar he is, he does this interview and is able to sweep everything under the rug and move forward, and ultimately becomes an asset again for Trigg. But it puts Trigg in a very weird position because Trigg and Gemma's daddy has the video of, you know, him beating up or almost beating Gemma's daddy to death, and that's what they were going to use to hold over Douda. But with him going to get Trigg's record expunged so that Trigg can run for city council, that now basically puts Trigg in a place where he really can't blackmail Douda. And even though we don't get to see it in this episode, by the end of the episode, you know, everything is brought to Trigg's attention. His record is expunged. They didn't found a girl, his play niece, Douda's play niece. I'm like, has he smashed her? It's given very much so. I might have smashed her a time or two as his play niece, and I don't like that, but that's not confirmed yet, y'all. So that's literally just my spidey senses going up. But he didn't pull a play niece out the woodwork because this is going to be your partner and we're going to position you as a family man and look like this is bada bada boom, we're going to get you elected. And Trigg is like, what in the hell? I was just telling y'all, I was thinking about it. Imani didn't left me at the proposal, not even left me at the altar. I'm heartbroken, struggling. My mama then popped up trying to take Jake back, even though she ain't say that, but now she needs somewhere to stay to get back on her feet. Yada yada yada. You know, 1 + 1 = 2. So she gonna try to get back up on her feet. The moment that she's able to get a damn apartment, she gonna try to take Jake with her. But we gonna cross that bridge when we get there. I'm dealing with all of this stuff, and then you gonna bring out this cute little chocolate drop out of nowhere, have her pushing up on me so that we can go on camera, do interviews as if we together, and you gonna get me elected. What if Imani sees this back in Kansas City? I know all that stuff was running through Trey's mind, and I can't blame him. What do y'all think though? What do y'all think about the little play niece and the little fake relationship that they want Trigg to get into so that they can help him get elected? And ultimately, Douda is like, Trigg gonna have to do everything that he says, and he's gonna have to be willing to do anything to get elected. And y'all know that in Trigg style, especially given that Douda's anything to get elected is beating the hell out of people, it is selling crack cocaine. Like he's really willing to do any and everything. And Trigg got a conscience now. Trigg has Jake now. Trigg has Sherrod now. They have their little family. He has some stuff to lose. Douda, you out here running around like you still don't have nothing to lose, even though he has lost things and come back. So I guess so, child. I'm stressed for Trigg. I'm sorry. I'm stressed for Victor. As we move forward, we're going to be using Victor because Trigg is dropping his street name so that he can be more presentable and basically just go by his government name as he runs for government office. I am totally here for Trigg being on the city council. I don't feel good about him getting in bed with Douda to actually make it happen. I don't feel good about Tracy just trusting Douda again. Like, their whole attraction is very weird to me. Like, it's clear that they're attracted to each other, but I'm just like, why? Is it just me? Do y'all feel like they giving vibes in reference to a couple? And for him to like dip out, for him to do the things that she has seen him do, like, didn't she set him up to get shot, or did we never really clear that up? No, it was mama. It's just always been something off about the two of them for me. And Douda has moved shady before, and with him coming back with Quentin, she should know that he really fully can't be trusted. And I guess because she feels like she has no other way and Rock is going to go away. Like, the fact that he was even taking money from Quentin and funneling it to Rock to support you because that was a solid investor, like, you should feel some type of way. She was way too willing, way too eager, way too easy to throw on that Savage X Fenty lingerie and get the prancing and propping up them titties. Like, girl, you ain't gonna make him work at all. He just got back 24 hours ago and you just ready on his dining room table, in his living room, everywhere, huh? You just ready. Come on now, Tracy. You weak in the knees. Stand up. Now, even though Trigg is still reeling in this episode from Imani not coming back and basically breaking up with him long distance, we know she's not returning to the series. So this is going to be the journey of him discovering in this season, discovering, I guess, that she's not coming back, that they are over. They don't really talk much about it. Trigg is a little testy at the top of the episode, and I hate this for him. However, this little race is definitely going to keep him occupied or keep him busy so that he is not able to wallow completely. Now, while Trigg isn't making any love connections or feeling the love, Sherrod is, because we have some new blood entering the series in this episode. It's two new people. One of which is Deja, who is going to be Sherrod's new love interest. He, is falling all over himself when she walks up to the Rock's offices, and he just got to know who she is and drop a little tune to be able to woo her, and then follows it up with a little date where he cooks his famous fried shrimp Alfredo and lays everything out for her all night. I'm like, okay, Sherrod. Okay, we see you. You better do the damn thing. And shout out to the newcomer Carolyn Michelle Smith, who is killing the role as Deja. Now, I said it was two newcomers in this episode. The second one is Master Marshawn, played by D. Ray Davis, and he is the, I guess, online personality who Emmett is following in this episode and listening to his talks where he's talking about semen retention and celibacy and men taking control of themselves and empowering themselves by, being celibate. Now, I'm all for the celibacy conversation. However, Master Marshawn, I don't know. Some of it was sounding kind of Kevin Samuels-y, and I wasn't really feeling it. So I still, the jury is out yet on if we actually like Master Marshawn. The fact that his name is Master Marshawn is also struggling. Like, it's a struggle for me. I love D. Ray as an actor, but we're gonna have to see what Marshawn is given. Okay. But yeah, Emmett could use to stop sticking his thing in anything. I mean, he has technically stopped that because he really got serious about Tiff and he didn't want to do the whole open marriage thing. So technically he hasn't just been sticking his thing in anything. And it also feels like this is not really going to last that long, even if he does want to be celibate, because we saw in episode 1 he was having a sex dream about Kiesha. In the preview for episode 3, Kiesha comes over and he's like looking at her all longingly and everything. So child, this is not going to last that long, but we'll see. Now, while I'm talking about Emmett, let's go ahead and talk about Tiff. Tiff is staying with Rob because she had to leave her mom's house, and Rob is deciding like, yo, let's go ahead and do this thing for real. And Tiff is just so apprehensive to get into another relationship, which I kind of get, but then I also kind of don't. I'm just like, Tiff, do you want to be for the streets, honey? Because I really just don't understand what she wants. Now all of a sudden it feels like, oh, she just wants to like have fun and smash a bunch of people, but that was never her MO before. Like when she was with Emmett, I got it because she was like fighting her jealousy and like felt like it seemed like she was choosing to be open so that she can empower herself and like go out there and do this for that. But with Rob, you know, talking the way that he is and basically speaking about a healthy union and them making a real healthy go at it, child, you already in his house, you getting him to pick your son up from school, which sends Emmett into a tailspin, honey. Into a tailspin. Even that, like, Rob is like, I'm not for the drama, and I completely understand why dude was mad. We need to like all sit down and communicate. I'm just like, all right, Tiffany, you're finally getting what you want. Not even with Emmett, because you got what you wanted with Emmett, but it was too late. Now you're getting what you want, or what you said that you had wanted with the new guy, and you also apprehensive about that. I want to kind of understand her a little bit better, and right now I really don't. I feel like she's just kind of floating and is just thinking about, you know, effing on some stuff, and it's just like, girl, for why? Like, what is your plan for you and EJ? You was riding hella tough with Kiesha and like going to help her find her dorm and showing up at her dorm and doing the girls' night with her and like supporting her moving forward and progressing. What is going to be your next step? What is going to be your progression? She literally was like, oh, you know, I'm so proud of you going to college. It's like, are you going to try to go back to school? Like, it's not too late for you, sis. You keep running around here saying what you don't want. I'm really curious of what Tiffany does want. Like, enlighten us, honey. And I'm kind of feeling Rob, so don't mess this up. I was really surprised when we finally see Gemma in this episode and she tells Jake that they need to talk. I thought that she was gonna let that boy have it, and I don't know if I need to go back and rewatch and I might have missed some things, but she was just so very understanding. And though Jake did apologize before she could even like say anything, I also wanted her to communicate exactly where he had her effed up so that he would never do it again, because I kind of felt like his general apology wasn't really didn't mean that he was clear on how she will and will not accept communication moving forward. And I was just so excited to like see her dad talk to her in last episode and like her be like, okay, yeah. And she actually created the space. She was ignoring him for a while, and then once they finally get together, she kind of just let it ride, and she was very supportive of him, which is great. But then also, like, don't forget, Gemma girl, make sure that you're getting your needs met, and make sure that he is treating you the way that you want to be treated and not just from what he knows, because you have to teach him how to treat you, especially when he got you up. Now, Papa struggles in this episode to apologize for all his wrongdoings from the first episode, and it takes Maisha to get him together. And I'm like, all right, are y'all getting back together or what? Because this little best friend vibe that y'all giving, and her finally coming in his room and being like, look, I'll wait, because you know what you need to do and you ain't did it yet. I'm like, yes, this is definitely given. It's so interesting to me, the Papa character right now, because of all the kids, he was the most grounded and very clear on like what he wanted and who he was. And I do think that this season is really going to be a season where he is really just trying to figure it out, and he's going to be questioning a lot of things, but still very, very arrogant in his position, almost of like righteousness. I do want to learn more or hear more about where his dad is and what's going on with him, because we got the conflict of his dad not being the great pastor and the stand-up guy that we thought he was and he thought he was, but then we never really got any follow-up to the fallout from that. And I want to know, is that something that's also affecting Papa and why he is lashing out at Jake and just doing certain things, making certain statements out in public and basically embarrassing himself? Like, is this also contributing to that? Now, I mentioned before I get off the kids, well, actually I gotta talk about Kevin too, but I mentioned before that Triggs' mama came back. Yes, P just came to pick up Jake from school early because she just wanted to see him. She clean now and all of that jazz. child, I just felt the trauma as soon as we seen her on screen, clean or not, honey. It just, you a walking trauma right now. And whether, you know, Trigg got over it or not, like, you just popping up and taking him out of school early was not the move at all. You should have talked to Trigg first. But okay, like, I was like, she's handling this wrong to begin with. So I'm still not feeling my head is on a swivel because I don't trust her. The last time we seen her, basically Trigg had to go buy Jake off of her after she had just sold Jake to Otis. So, you know, I'm still on her damn head about that. I understand that she, you know, was on drugs and wasn't thinking clearly or whatever, but that just means that if you on the straight and narrow and you good now, then you need to be walking on the straight and narrow, okay? And you snatching him out of school early, out of nowhere, ambushing him, that ain't the straight and narrow, honey. It ain't. Also in this episode, we get to see Dre and Nina go to virtual couples counseling. Something is still off with them. And personally, I just am like, Nina has way too much attitude whenever any type of therapy or counseling is brought up, for her to have cheated on Dre last season and Dre didn't leave her ass. Like, you, whether you like it or not, you need to smile, grin, and bear it, honey, because you jumped all the way out the window, off a cliff, behind some ridiculous ass assumptions and the worst string of so-called evidence that led you to jump into some other woman's bed, and Dre is still by your damn side, and you still running around here taking like small jabs at her having a psychology degree and her wanting all couples to be in counseling. Like, go ahead somewhere, Nina, because the attitude is unnecessary, honey. You are not apologetic enough for me. You are not moving apologetic. It's just the absolute hell no. It's giving, you don't deserve Dre, honey, and I'm gonna need you to pull up. I'm gonna need you to get it together. I know you've been through a lot. Your kids have been through a lot, which has put you through a lot, but pull up, okay? Pull up on it. Pull up on all that damn attitude and smile more. I don't know about y'all, but that Nina was irritating me. She irritated me in the first episode too, because she had a little smart thing to say about, you know, Dre talking about psychology, and I'm just like, ugh, I can't. But we get to see them go to therapy later on in the episode. It starts off like we get the initial little shade in a conversation where Jada is talking about how she kissed Darnell, and her, Tracy, Dre, and Nina are all sitting around talking, you know, just having regular girl talk or whatever. And Jada is trying to figure out if Darnell is the one, and the Suede is the one, and Nina is on the whole Darnell side, and Dre is on the Suede side. And just watching their little banter back and forth is just like, they were speaking about Jada, but they was also having subtext about them, and I'm just like, this is so cringy. I just want to, like, y'all want to have a conversation alone? Because if y'all gonna argue, y'all gonna argue. Even though it came off a little bit lighthearted and it didn't go too far in the whole conversation, it was also just like, y'all, like, well, not y'all, Nina was definitely taking jabs, and I just hate that for Dre. In this episode, we get Kevin and his new potential boo that he actually is able to talk to in his class. She was actually a girl that Kevin danced with at Maisha's party last season, and they are in some type of finance class together, and she is leading the bunch when it comes to their NFT projects. And Kevin works up the nerve to say something to her, and it seems like she's interested as well. I don't know where we're going with Kevin's storyline in this season, but I'm kind of here for it. Him and Lene giving, you know, Bonnie and Clyde, basically, not romantically, but like they try to sneak in this PS5 into the school, and we're like, oh, and initially like, oh Lord, y'all know y'all ain't supposed to bring this in here, but then I also was like, the school is overreacting. It's not like they try to sneak in some type of weapon. It's literally a PS5. And then come to find out, some teacher signed off on it. A progressive teacher signed off on it. It's basically they was bringing it in because they were trying to start a gaming club at school. And I'm like, yes. So shout out to that progressive teacher who decides to back them, support them, basically sponsor the program, and this is gonna be dope. So then they don't have to go back to the like that gaming house. Like I think the last episode where we saw that little PTSD moment that Kevin had while playing with those little white boys, it definitely struck a nerve for him. And I think them cultivating a place and a space and a community that they feel more safe in and more they can be a little bit more comfortable. It would be dope. And like the teacher said, there are tons of little white kids making hella money off of gaming. Why can't our black kids do the same? Or for nothing else, form community and, you know, build certain skills around it. That's it. That's all. All right, y'all, that is my full breakdown, I believe, for episode number 2 from season 5 of The Chi. Let me know if I missed anything in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Give this video a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. It's your good sis Erica Vane, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.